Hi, welcome back to Blog Fix Friday. This Friday is a question that I received via Facebook from a lady called Chaz. Now I'm not quite sure where she blogs, but thanks for the question, Chaz. And she asked me to chat a little bit more about organisation. Now I've actually spoken on the subject, and I've written quite a few different posts probably on organisation, but I just wanted to what I'll do is I'll link to the post I've written, but I wanted to kind of make it more how I do it, because obviously sometimes when you talk you can tell people the range of options that they could do to get organised. You don't necessarily always focus on what you do yourself, so if that makes sense. So when I've spoken about it before and written, I've spoken at Blog Camp about time saving and how to be organised, and I've got some notes down here. So I split it up into scheduling, so you schedule your time and you schedule your content. Automation, so anything that you could automate, do automate, because you need to put, if your blog is your business, and even if it isn't, you need to put your effort in where it's really valuable and where it's really necessary. So if you spend an hour tweeting out old posts by hand, no one cares about that, whether you've done it or not. But if you schedule those posts to go out, but you spend the time interacting with people or answering questions or retweeting people's posts, then that's more valuable. So automate what you possibly can automate, and I've written posts, so I'll tag the post in so you know more about that, and I'll go into it a little bit more. Use hacks whenever you can, so I'm a massive fan of keyboard shortcuts. So, but Mac's easy, go into system preferences, go into keyboard, and then there's the second tab, can't remember what it says, but it's the second tab across, and then you can literally click the plus, add in whatever it is. So like my address is 13C, and as soon as I type up that, then my whole address comes out. It's really straightforward to set up, but it's one of those things that I always type kind regards my name. So I've got KR, I type that, hit return, and kind regards my name comes out. And it might seem more, you could just type that, but you type that so many times in a day. I've also got massive ones, so I've got like a pitch one that I will change, but the basic comes up. So I've got, I think it's, I don't know if it's just P pitch or something, and then a whole big paragraph with all my stats and stuff. So obviously it needs adjusting, but it saves you typing all that sort of information out again and again and again. So keyboard shortcuts, and then batching as well is another major topic to get organised about. So batching can be taking all your photographs at the same time, writing loads of posts at the same time, writing some posts, and then doing all your social media sharing at the same time, so that you're really focused on one task. We're not very good at multitasking, even though people think we are. So deep and narrow is the way to get things done. So really focus on one task, get it done, focus on another. Otherwise you waste time going from task to task and then back again. If you're anything like me, even though I try to take my own advice, I can spend quite a lot of time just scrolling through Facebook just to see what's going on, and I'm not even interested in most of it, what's going on. So it's just deep and narrow in terms of your focus. So I'm going to just talk about what I use. So I think the main things that I would use is, I have had a bullet journal, and it was sort of working for me, and I quite liked it, and I still like the fact that I can track my weight loss and I can colour in all the little squares and feel quite accomplished about that. But I do find that I'm writing the same thing out again and again. So I'm in this thing called AppSumo, which is I don't think I paid for it, but it's just like a subscription type thing, but they send you really good deals. And one of the deals that they sent me was actually a free year of a thing called MEISTER task, which I've mentioned before. It's MEISTER task, and it's awesome for me. It's just the right thing. I've used Trello before, and MEISTER task to me looks a little bit, not simpler, it just looks cleaner, and I can put in like Monday's tasks and then a whole checklist of things under Monday, but if nothing gets, if I can drag them off to carry them forward to Tuesday, and then or carry them forward to the future, then I can literally the next day click on where it says Monday and just change it to say Tuesday, and all the stuff I didn't get done is still in there. You can drag it to in progress, done, carry forward. You can share it with a team. You can do loads and loads of things with it. You can add links into it, you can send things from it to people, but for me, just to have that visual thing. So I've got sort of a daily task thing. I've got I'm rebranding my blog at the moment, so I've got a rebrand tab thing, like file in there. We've just rebranded Live Love blog, so I had one of those in there. We've got a project for Little Fierce Ones, so there's something in there, and and commission posts, and they all just go into their files, and then I can just click them, and it also syncs to the app on my phone. So when I'm waiting outside nursery, think of something, I can stick it in, and then it's all synced up. So to me, it's probably taken over my heart from the bullet journal. There you go. I'd still like writing things down. I've written these notes today, but I think the way I work and my life, I need it on a kind of electronic system. So MEISTER task, emails will bury you sometimes if you get busy, so I try and clear. I've got about 26 emails in my inbox at the moment, which is actually really good for me, because I normally have loads, and there are always things that are the tricky things that I haven't got time to sort out, or they don't need a desperate answer, so I'm just busy and don't get around to them. So try and keep your inbox clear. To me, my inbox is kind of like another to-do list, but I do have 2 files in there which really help me. I have waiting for product and waiting for response. So as soon as I've responded to a PR, this sounds a bit funny, but if it's something that I'm not that fussed about, I'll just file it in my PR file. So just a general inquiry, I respond, I'll just file it in PR. But if it's something that I actually will want to chase, or that I am waiting, I'm in discussions with, I file it in waiting for a response. If a PR says they're sending something to me and it's all fine and I'm just waiting, I'll file it in waiting for product. And then all I need to do is go back into either of those 2 files and look down, make sure everything that is meant to be coming has arrived. Sometimes things get lost in the post, so if you're not kind of switched on to what's coming, then you could get in a bit of a pickle. And also just to chase up people. So if I've emails have been going back and forth and then it kind of goes quiet, give it a few days and I might chase up and say, hi, is anything going on with that, the opportunity, blah blah blah, just to keep the conversation going. Those 2 files really help me. I've got other things like gift guide files when I ever do one of them. Obviously I've got different files just for general admin things and financial and things like that, but those 2 ones are the biggest ones for me. I'm aware this is ticking on. So spreadsheet, I have a spreadsheet, basic numbers on Mac, and in there is, I've said before, I've got a column with date, a column with title, a column with short code, and a column with sent to PR, so I can put yes or no or emailed, and then a column with Facebook and Twitter sharing. So as soon as a post, I actually do it a bit ahead, so I can sort of use that as a visual tool as well. So I've got an editorial calendar on my blog, which I couldn't do without, but this is just, I can highlight, if a post is written, I highlight it, the whole box in grey. If the scheduling still needs to be done, I'll highlight the 2 boxes there in bright yellow. So I just know that I need it all to be grey and I need it all to be no colour. If there's any yellow there, I need to schedule something. If there's any gaps there that aren't grey, then I need to fill something in. But those short codes, actually, somebody says, oh, you've written a post about whatever in the past, instead of having to go to your blog and find it, you can just literally quickly find it really quickly from your short codes, and it's done. There's no problem. So I've also got another spreadsheet which is an accounts one, which is fabulous. I'll try and find the link and put the link to it. It's actually another blogger's boyfriend who's an accountant, and he's done this spreadsheet specifically for with bloggers in mind, but it's really useful. It's all divided into months and all the codes, all the formulas are already in there, so I'll try and link to that. And then just quickly I want to talk about schedulers. So you don't have to individually send out your social media for your blog post. So just to give you a quick overview of what I use, social oomph on Twitter is there's nothing better for tweeting out ongoing things with just one input. So you input it once, you say I want it to go every 8 hours forever, and it will just do that, and you never have to look at it again. So and you can do it less than that, you can do it 5 times every day or every 36 hours. It's totally flexible. So for that. Tailwind for Pinterest is awesome. I need to focus on it a bit more, and I'm using a thing called GRUM, GRUM, for Instagram, and again, there's nothing better. It pushes it through for you. You don't have to do anything apart from schedule, and it'll also put the comments in the hashtags in the first comment box for you, which is amazing. So that's a quick thing about organisation for Blog Fix Friday. If you've got any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will be back next week with more Blog Fix Friday. Bye.